His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa issued Royal Order 44 of 2023, calling the Shura and Representatives Councils to convene for opening the second session of the 6th legislative term on Sunday, October 8, 2023. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received the Representatives Council Speaker Ahmed Al-Msallam and the First Deputy Chairman of the Shura Council Jamal Fakhro, as well as both Council's deputies, who presented His Majesty the annual report of the Shura and Representatives Councils. The guests also expressed their deep condolences to His Majesty the King on the martyrdom of a number of BDF personnel who were part of the Arab coalition forces participating in the operations Decisive Storm and Restoring Hope following the terrorist attack that claimed their lives on the southern borders of Saudi Arabia. They pray to Allah the Almighty to rest their souls in eternal peace and grant their families solace and fortitude, and grant the injured a speedy recovery. They affirm that these sacrifices will always be remembered, which reflects the values of loyalty and belonging to protect the kingdom's gains and achievements. His Majesty expressed thanks and appreciation for these noble sentiments and praised the efforts of the Representatives Council Speaker and Shura Chairman, as well as the members of both councils for their honorable stances. His Majesty also praised the vital role of the legislative authority in supporting the civilization march of the kingdom, enhancing the democratic approach, defending the nation's interests, meeting the aspirations of citizens, and enhancing the status of the kingdom in international parliamentary events. His Majesty hailed the cooperation and coordination between the executive and legislative authorities, which result in numerous achievements and prosperity for the kingdom and its people. He praised the content of the annual report as well as the proposals and initiatives for developing the legislative and oversight performance. His Majesty wished the legislative authority further success in serving the kingdom and its people. His Majesty praised the parliamentary achievements that affirm the Bahraini identity and affirmed that the kingdom is keen to prioritize its citizens and provide them with opportunity to serve the kingdom, as well as providing high living standards for all. He affirmed that the stances, the unity and patriotism of the people of Bahrain is a source of pride. He also praised the cooperation and coordination relations between Bahrain and brotherly and friendly countries and affirmed keenness to further enhance these relations for the benefit of all. His Majesty expressed pride in the efforts of the people of Bahrain and their keenness to enhance its development and advancement. Al-Msallam expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty for his continuous directives to the legislative authority and pride in presenting the annual report to His Majesty. He noted that His Majesty the King's directives are the priority of national and parliamentary work. The Speaker stressed that His Majesty's royal support of the legislative authority is the foundation for the kingdom's national successes and civilizational achievements and the comprehensive development march. For his part, Fakhro affirmed that the development of the democratic and legislative process in Bahrain reflects the support of His Majesty the King, and noted that the annual report reflects the keenness to implement His Majesty's directives. He added that the legislative authority derives strength and national determination from the visions and aspirations of His Majesty the King, and views His Majesty's speeches as a foundation for performing national and legislative responsibilities and to continue developing national legislation and laws that keep pace with the development and progress witnessed by the kingdom in all fields. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received at Safiya Palace the Lord Mayor of the City of London, the Right Honourable Nicholas Lyons, on the occasion of his visit to the kingdom. His Majesty welcomed the Lord Mayor of London, hailing the deep-rooted relations that span over 2 centuries and the continuous growth and development of cooperation and joint work in various financial, banking, economic and investment fields, especially that the 2 kingdoms have a remarkable financial, economic and commercial global status. His Majesty noted the vital role of the private sector in enhancing financial and economic cooperation, benefiting from investment opportunities, and establishing joint projects in vital sectors for mutual benefit. He highlighted the agreements and memoranda of understanding signed during the recent visit of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa to the UK, which contributes to developing the paths of Bahrain-UK cooperation. His Majesty affirmed the Kingdom's continuation of developing the investment environment and providing facilitations and potentialities for investors and financial institutions in the country, as well as providing legislative components and an advanced infrastructure to ensure the success of investments and enhance the Kingdom's status as an important hub on the global financial and economic map. The Lord Mayor of London expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the King for his keenness on developing financial and economic cooperation with the UK to bolster relations. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa offered his condolences to the family of fallen serviceman First Lieutenant Hamad Khalifa Al Kbaisi from the BDF, who passed away following injuries he sustained during his honorable and loyal participation in Operation Restoring Hope as part of the Saudi-led Arab coalition forces at the southern border of Saudi Arabia. His Royal Highness highlighted the sacrifices of the Kingdom's fallen servicemen, whose honor, loyalty and commitment to justice will be forever etched in the Kingdom's history. He emphasized that the honorable sacrifices of the BDF officers are a source of pride for the Kingdom. For their part, the family of the late First Lieutenant expressed their gratitude to His Royal Highness for the condolences and expressed pride in the First Lieutenant Hamad's sacrifices in fulfilling his duties in safeguarding Bahrain and the region. His Royal Highness was accompanied by the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Isa bin Salman Educational Charitable Trust, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. His Majesty the King's keenness and care for the families of martyrs of duty, His Majesty established the Royal Fund to support martyrs in 2016 to undertake the tasks of providing basic scientific, social and health needs to the families. More on this report. The Royal Fund for Martyrs of Duty was established in accordance with Royal Decree No. 16 of 2016 by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. The Royal Fund is managed by the Fund's Supreme Authority, headed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. The establishment of the Royal Fund for Martyrs of Duty came with the aim of granting comprehensive support to all families of martyrs in order to provide them with a decent life and a promising future, as the fund provides aid and support to those entitled through the disbursement of compensation and benefits, in addition to the benefits disbursed by the competent authorities. The fund also provides multiple and varied programs with the aim of supporting the families of the martyrs in order to build a promising future for all their members through a number of different programs, including the educational program. The fund also is responsible for covering medical and treatment expenses for all family members of the martyrs of duty in accordance with the approved rules and regulations of the fund. On the social level, the fund organizes various events and recreational activities on a regular basis in order to support individuals morally and build values and life skills that help them build self-confidence and allow them to contribute and engage in society. A sincere, patriotic and parental gesture embodied by the Royal Fund for Martyrs of Duty contributes to supporting the families of the martyrs and providing them with full support to ensure the stability and success of their families and building a promising future for all the children of the martyrs and their families, thanks to the unlimited support of His Majesty the King. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa received the outgoing Ambassador of Egypt, Yasser Mohammed Sha'ban, at Qudaybiya Palace to mark the end of his tenure in the Kingdom. His Royal Highness highlighted the long-standing relations between Bahrain and Egypt, noting the commitment of both His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the President of Egypt Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in bolstering bilateral relations and cross-sector cooperation to benefit all. His Royal Highness highlighted the Ambassador's efforts in advancing the strategic partnership to achieve joint aspirations. He extended best wishes to Yasser in his future endeavors. During the meeting, regional and global developments and issues of common interest were discussed. For his part, the ambassador expressed gratitude for the opportunity to meet with His Royal Highness, noting His Royal Highness's commitment to furthering Bahrain-Egypt relations. The ambassador concluded by wishing Bahrain further progress and prosperity. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and the Minister of Finance and National Economy Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Lord Mayor of the City of London, the Right Honourable Nicholas Lyons, at the Qutbiyya Palace. His Royal Highness highlighted the depth of long-standing relations between the two kingdoms, which continue to advance based on mutual aspirations. He noted the importance of strengthening Bahrain-UK partnership in line with the visions of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness welcomed the Right Honourable Nicholas Lyons and the accompanying delegation's visit to Bahrain, which showcased a mutual commitment to existing partnerships between Bahrain and the UK. He also noted that the mutual commitment will further Bahrain-UK economic investment and financial cooperation. His Royal Highness emphasized the role of the private sector in bolstering promising investment opportunities between both countries to support bilateral economic, investment and financial cooperation. During the meeting, issues of common interest and regional and international development were also discussed. His Royal Highness held a luncheon in honor of the visit of the Lord Mayor of the City of London and the accompanying delegation. The Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Isa bin Salman Education Charitable Trust, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Minister of Finance and National Economy Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and a number of senior officials also attended the meeting. The Interior Minister General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa received Jordanian Director of Public Security Major General Abdul Maatia, who is in Bahrain, to participate in the joint Bahrain-Jordan Security Committee meeting. The Interior Minister welcomed the Jordanian official, hailing the strong historical ties between the two brotherly countries as a result of the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the Jordanian King Abdullah II bin Al Hussein. He expressed appreciation for security cooperation between the two countries and efforts to promote operations to protect national accomplishments and regional security. The meeting discussed security cooperation and coordination to exchange expertise in facing security challenges. A joint parliamentary government meeting was held chaired by the Representatives Council Speaker Ahmed Lemsalem with the participation of the First Deputy Chairman of the Shura Council Jamal Fakhro, in the presence of the Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdul Latif Al-Zayani and the Minister of Information Dr. Ramzan bin Abdullah Naimi. The Speaker praised Bahrain's established strategic approach under the leadership of His Majesty the King, with the support and follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister in enhancing international cooperation to maintain security, stability, development and prosperity in the region. Lemsalem affirmed parliamentary support for the comprehensive agreement on security, integration and prosperity between Bahrain and the US, which was signed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister and the US Secretary of State. For his part, the First Deputy Speaker of the Shura Council stated that Bahrain's unique diplomatic relations stem from comprehensive visions and a wise approach from His Majesty the King, expressing pride in the kingdom's high status and building diplomatic relations. The Minister of Foreign Affairs expressed condolences to His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the BDF Commander-in-Chief, to all members of the Defense Force, including officers and soldiers, and the families of the martyrs. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif Al-Zayani, paid a visit to the Italian embassy to offer condolences on the death of the former President of Italy, Giorgio Napolitano. The minister expressed his sincere condolences to the government and people of Italy, as well as the ambassador of Italy, Paolo Amadi, recalling the late president's efforts in serving his country and his people, as well as his role in promoting bilateral relations with Bahrain. The Minister of Social Development and Chairman of the National Committee for the Elderly, Osama Al-Asfour, issued a statement on the occasion of the 33rd anniversary of the International Day of Older Persons. Al-Asfour affirmed that Bahrain continues to enhance the efficiency and quality of the social services it provides to various groups of society, including senior citizens. The minister said that this day is an opportunity to highlight the pioneering Bahraini experience at the regional and international levels in the field of welfare development, health, legal, and rehabilitation services for senior citizens to ensure a decent living and quality of life. He noted the kingdom's keenness to employ sustainable development goals by following modern frameworks for the concept of caring for the elderly. He stressed that Bahrain continues its development leadership to protect the rights of the elderly, preserve their dignity, and enhance positive and effective communication with the elderly. The Minister of Health, Dr. Jalila Hassan, headed Bahrain's delegation participating in the 9th meeting of the Ministerial Committee for GCC Health Ministers and the 86th meeting of the Council of Health Ministers of the GCC. During her participation, the Minister pointed out the importance of continuing to strengthen Gulf health cooperation and developing bilateral coordination and the level of efficiency of the systems and procedures in place to ensure the provision of the best health services in the GCC countries and the advancement of the Gulf health sector. She noted that the meetings include many important topics that are closely linked to the development of pioneering Gulf health projects and programs. The Minister of Health, Dr. Jalila Hassan, held a meeting with the Omani Minister of Health, Dr. Hilal bin Ali Septi. Dr. Jalila stressed the depth of historical foundations on which the fraternal relations between Bahrain and Oman are based. The meeting discussed enhancing cooperation, exchanging expertise and experiences in the health fields to achieve common health goals. For his part, the Omani minister praised the progress witnessed by the health sector in Bahrain, praising the role played by the Ministry of Health in supporting many health awareness and training campaigns and programs, holding and hosting scientific conferences, exchanging experiences, and preparing important research studies. The Ministry of Education participated in the 64th meeting of the General Assembly of the International Association, which was hosted by the Ministry of Education of France. The meeting included a number of sessions to discuss the recent international studies that Bahrain is participating in. The meeting also included revising projects and studies and ways to benefit from different researches and awards.